I remember first hearing about it from my Uncle Peter, who lives in Long Beach. And when I visited him in LA for the first time, he told me about this religion that had been created by a sci-fi writer called L. Ron Hubbard, and that it was beloved of actors and celebrities, and that they used hard sales tactics. These are all his allegations. I mean, I'm sure Scientology would deny it. And that they were very secret. No one really knew what was going on inside. And in fact, he told me, I remember him saying that if you go down and look at their base, they've got walls around it with spikes on, but the spikes don't face outward, the spikes face inward. And I thought all of this was sort of really appealing. I mean, my own sense of both the absurd but also the macabre was massively piqued. Scientology to me seems to be at a kind of junction of so many quintessentially American qualities. You know, you've got the celebrity dimension, you've got the fact that it's in Hollywood, you've got its sort of relation to the business world and this swashbuckling form of capitalism that we have in the US, where you find a need and you market to it, and if the need doesn't exist, then you create the need. To me, it's always very telling when you realize that basically McDonald's and Scientology came into existence at almost exactly the same time. Around about 1950, Dianetics was published and the first McDonald's was established. And actually as business models, they're rather similar. They both work using a franchise system. And in a sense, to me, Scientology is selling spiritual hamburgers, if you like. There's this piquancy that's added to it because of the strangeness and humor that's wrapped around it. You know, the bizarreness of the language and the ritual. The packaging is, to me, quite funny. At the heart of Scientology is a kind of contradiction, which is that they want to spread the good news about Scientology and Dianetics. It's a life-changing, life-saving system that allows you to be your best. And in fact, more than that, is our last best hope for saving the planet from war, insanity, crime, intolerance, and so forth. But they also don't want to give up those secrets too easily because, in fact, either because they would say you have to go through a certain path and that takes a certain orderly step and you have to sort of pay your way through to the path, which is a bridge to total freedom, as they call it. But actually, arguably, it's because it's their business model to sell secrets. So the contradiction is, well, how do you market a secret, right? And unlike, other religions that I can think of, Christianity, right? That you can get a Bible in any hotel room. You'll find one in the top drawer of your bedside table. And Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, all the major religions, as far as I'm aware, their sacred texts are freely available, and there aren't a whole bunch of secrets, origin stories or mysterious myths that you have to pay to learn. Well, what's inside the box? What could it be? And they also regard outsiders, in particular journalists, as enemies. And so, to me, it's actually both. It's a problem in as much as they're not giving access, but it's also massively appealing and tantalizing to be aggressively confronted and turned away. Unlike most religions that you think of as being sort of welcoming and ethical and in the normal way of things, sort of come on in, film with us, we'll tell you what we do. Scientology is constantly, it seems to me, kind of pushing you away and telling you that they don't want your coverage, that nothing you can say about them is going to be the truth.